Hi. Can we talk compassion? Or can I talk compassion at you? Because we can't really have a two-way talk. What does compassion really mean to you? I just want to throw out some ideas to see if my ideas help you find compassion for people when people are really difficult to work with or really challenging or really pushing your buttons. For a long time, I've been a people watcher. And I don't want to make it sound like I'm a peeping Tom or I'm a lurker or I'm some creepy people person. I've just really been an observer a lot in life and in my own life, but of other people, and um, kind of an unofficial, ununiversity associated form of psychology, really. I worked at a psychiatric hospital for 18 years. So that was some of it, but I've just always been fascinated with the brain and the mind and personalities, and this hair is driving me crazy. Um, so I watch people. I listen between the lines. And I didn't know this for a long time. I didn't know what an empath was. I didn't know what it meant to be empathetic, but I am an empath. And I kind of cringe when I even say that because it's a little cringy sometimes to hear people say that. But really, all it means is that I am capable of feeling what someone else is feeling as if it's my own. And for the longest time, I didn't know it wasn't mine. I didn't know all of these feelings that I was feeling weren't even mine. That was challenging. So getting back to compassion and getting back to my point, what I want to throw out there is something that I have essentially observed for many years. Again, watching people of all ages, mind you. When I was a kid, babies made me really uncomfortable, and little kids were so annoying to me. I am the youngest in my family, so I did have a younger niece who pushed my buttons quite a bit. And I think through watching her grow and watching other people's kids grow and watching parents relate to kids and just watching, I'm a lurker, lurking, and just watching people, I I feel like perhaps when we start to learn language, we start to learn to shut down in a way. As one thing opens up, something else is shutting down. And what I mean by that is when we're infants, obviously, the only way that we know how to communicate is noise, grunts, groans, whines, cries, different types of cries, screams. That's our only way of communicating. And as we start to learn language, we start to learn to shut that down. It doesn't mean those feelings go anywhere. It just means those feelings get shut down and get shut off and get stuffed and get buried and are not dealt with. And if you notice as people grow older, they throw tantrums less. It doesn't mean they stop throwing tantrums. It means they throw tantrums less. And some of us don't ever stop throwing those tantrums. And I don't know that that's necessarily a bad thing. And in some settings, in some ways, it's not necessarily a bad thing, but it is frowned upon in most establishments for adults to throw tantrums. And we label that things like road rage or just really inappropriate outbursts or oppositional defiance. We got all kinds of labels for all kinds of things, right? Getting back to compassion, I want to offer that for the most part, we're just children in large bodies. We're not all that mature for the most part. It doesn't mean there aren't exceptions to this. It doesn't mean it's unilateral across the board. It just means that when you see somebody behaving, when somebody is getting angry with you and you know for a fact there is no reason for them to be angry with you, but they're still angry and they're coming at you with all of this fire and you're like, what? Consider the fact that they're just a child in a large body, that it has nothing to do with you. Consider the fact that they might just need a place that's safe for them to get out some of what they've been shutting down for 20, 30, 40, 50, 70 years. And try to learn the art of non-reacting. I'm not saying it's easy. I'm saying it's fantastic when you learn it. It's fantastic to literally be completely unaffected when someone's wigging out. It's pretty awesome. I joke that it's mastery, but it's not really a joke. It's mastering your own reactions and your own responses. You know, we can all react, but can we all respond appropriately in any given situation? No, not all the time. A lot of us can't at all, ever. I'm just encouraging the people who do want to be better, do better, be the example of better, to consider that. You know, consider the next time that you see somebody, you're like, what is happening right now? Just consider that most of us are just children in large bodies. It ain't no thing. Carry on. Now, if you are required to respond and somebody is, you know, having their moment with you and you are, you know, kind of trying to conjure up some kind of response, really just work on that non-reaction, that being completely unfazed, that whole, okay, do you want to talk about this, or how can I help, or, you know, do you need to keep going with that thought? Do you need to keep going with how you're feeling? What's behind what you're feeling? Let's get to the root of what's going on. Because when you can just not react and just let someone feel the feels, it can be really transformative. And reminding people that having emotion is part of who we are. To not have emotion is kind of like not drinking water, not eating food, not sleeping. It's part of who we are, and releasing those emotions are really no different than releasing other things. We need to detox those thoughts and the emotions, just like we need to go to the bathroom every single day. Would you hold that? No. No. You don't hold that for years. You can't. But we've learned how to hold emotion. And I would say that was mistake number one, because emotion has a profound impact on health, not just mental health. No. Talk to anybody who's in pain and ask them if there's emotion associated with that. Absolutely, there is emotion associated with physical illness, not just mental illness. So thank you for coming to my TED Talk. There will be many others, because I can no longer hold it in, and nor should I. There's no reason for us not to share our thoughts, not to share our observations. What if me sharing this today helped just one person navigate a really uncomfortable conversation or a situation. It's all worth it. So I'd love to hear your thoughts. I hope you guys have a great weekend. Bye for now.